a hitman. I've been out of the game for years. To buy a wedding ring for my fiancée, I decided to come out of retirement. Take one last job. That night I received an order from a client, whose ID starts with the letter A, but the second I opened the file, cold sweat instantly soaked my back, because the man in the photo was obviously me, no mistake about it. Just then the other side urged me, everyone says you're the top hitman around, right? You need this long to think about killing one guy. The screen glow lit up my deathly pale face. I stared at the computer, unable to calm down for ages. Then I typed a line on the keyboard. Ma'am. How do you want him dead? The reply came super fast. Anyway is fine. As long as it can't be traced back to me, and his organs must stay intact. An overseas transfer of $500,000 popped up. Though I couldn't verify the client's info, I stared at the bright, smiling version of me in the photo. I asked mockingly to myself, "What's your relationship with him?" The client was super unprofessional, and admitted straight up, "That's my fiancé." I held back my rage and asked for the motive, but the client got defensive. What does that have to do with the hit? I know Sun-Yan too well. She doesn't even dare kill a chicken normally. She has no clue about the rules of the business. I had to make up an excuse on the spot. To help you get away with it? I need to know his personal connections. But she didn't buy my excuse. Left a message saying, "Just do your job," then logged off immediately. Watching her profile picture go gray, my heart felt like it was being stabbed. I went against my organization's wishes for her, and quit without hesitation. Last night she was still lying in my arms, acting all cutesy, asking what we should name our kids in the future. Said she wanted to have twins for me, and cook every day waiting for me to come home. Those sweet words were still ringing in my ears, but that $500,000 in my bank account woke me up like a bucket of cold water. She's just an intern, where would she get that much money? It was already dawn. When I snuck back to our rental apartment, Sun-Yan hugged me from behind in her sleep, like she always does. "Why are you up so early?" I stared at her blankly. The woman who washes my underwear every day, and gets praised as the perfect wife by all the neighbors. Could she really be client A, the one who paid to have me killed? "Honey, I booked you a premarital checkup. Don't forget to go see Dr. Chen. I have a meeting this afternoon." Sun-Yan sat up suddenly. Her reaction was surprisingly intense. "I just really want to get married, that's all. Don't be mad, okay?" Looking at her weirdly anxious face, I decided to play along. "Alright, I'll go later." She kissed me excitedly. "Make sure you see Dr. Chen, okay?" I left the apartment. Dr. Chen called me right away, looking at the pre-prepared list of checkup items in my hand. My doubts kept growing. I didn't go to the hospital. Instead, I went to the coffee shop downstairs. Lu Yuan was sitting across from me, a legend in the business. "Why'd you become some regular office drone?" I didn't waste any time talking. Took the file, paid him, turned around and got in a taxi. I opened the file in the taxi. Sun-Yan was already married a long time ago. The day they got their marriage license was exactly the day we met. And her husband is Shen Yanji, the son of the richest man. Turns out from the very beginning, this was all a carefully planned scam. The file in my hand felt like a piece of red-hot iron, burning so hot my fingertips were shaking. I sat in the backseat of the taxi, watching the street scenes fly past outside the window. My mind went completely blank. In the file photo, Sun-Yan was smiling elegantly. The man standing next to her was handsome but sickly pale. Shen Yanji, the only heir to the Shen group. The marriage license date was exactly the day I saved Sun-Yan from trouble on the street. Turns out that meeting wasn't fate. It was a trap set by a hunter, and me, the top hitman who used to make countless big shots shake in their boots, had turned into some guy's personal living organ bank. The taxi stopped in front of that private hospital. The place was way too remote. The walls were super high, with electrified fencing on top. I didn't rush to get out. As a hitman, my instinct told me if I went in to see Dr. Chen, like Sun-Yan asked me to today, I might never come out again. I lit a cigarette, took a deep drag. "Hey man, what's the deal with this hospital?" I asked casually. The driver took the 200 yuan I handed him. "Hey buddy, you look like an honest guy. Let me give you a piece of advice. Go to the city hospital if you need medical care. This place is cursed." I nodded, opened the door and got off the car. I didn't enter through the main entrance. That's just asking for death. I snuck around to the back wall, used blind spots to avoid the security cameras, climbed over it neatly. Though I've been retired for 2 years, I still have these basic skills. Landed without making a sound. I quickly snuck into the main building. The hospital was eerily quiet inside. Following the information Lu Yuan gave me, I found Dr. Chen's office. Mrs. Shen's surgery plan is all set. As long as he comes for the physical today, I can anesthetize him and take him to the underground OR directly. Young Master Shen can't hold on much longer. We have to do the heart transplant as soon as possible. Does he suspect anything? Ha! That voice was still so gentle. But it made me feel like I was falling into an ice cellar. Last night, the same voice was whispering in my ear, saying she wanted to have twins with me, saying she would cook for me for a lifetime. I don't think so. Look at how poor and pathetic he is. He even takes side gigs to save up for a ring. Simple-minded guys like him are easy to control. Remember, I want his organs intact, especially that heart. Shen Yanji can't wait. Footsteps sounded. I squeezed into the nearby utility room to hide. The door opened. Sun-Yan walked out in high heels. "Yanji, hold on a little longer. The donor is already here." The doctor said the surgery has a very high success rate. Donor? That's how she defines me. After she walked far away, I came out of the utility room. There was no warmth left in my eyes, only the coldness a killer should have. I pushed open Dr. Chen's door. Dr. Chen was arranging scalpels with his back to me. Sun-Yan hasn't gone far yet. What's the rush? I didn't say a word. Shut the door behind me and locked it. Sensing something was wrong, Dr. Chen turned around abruptly. When he saw me, the expression on his face changed from confusion to horror instantly. Why are you here? You were supposed to enter through the main entrance. Dr. Chen, I heard you want to transplant my heart. Don't do anything stupid. You're Sunyan's fiancé? I'm just here to give you a physical exam. A physical exam needs anesthesia. A physical exam needs to take me to the underground operating room. I'll give you 3 minutes. All medical records related to Shen Yanji and Sunyan. Export all of them right now. 1 second slower, I'll slit your throat. 5 minutes later. The matching report. I got everything I wanted. Shen Yanji suffers from a rare congenital heart failure, Sunyan. Is Shen Yanji's legal wife? Shen Yanji has an extremely rare blood type, and I turned out to be the only person in the world that can be found across the globe, with all indicators perfectly matching his donor requirements. What's even more ironic, the reason I saved Sunyan 2 years ago was because Lu Yan found out during the car crash investigation that the crash was also man-made. Sunyan has been looking for me for 3 whole years. She only targeted me for my heart and put on this 2-year-long act. Even the hit order I took after coming out of retirement, the one that required me to kill myself, was all her last push and test for me. She wanted to see if I was really short on money, to see if I had already completely turned into an ordinary guy. I put away the USB drive, hit Dr. Chen hard on the back of his head. I took off my jacket, put on his white coat, put on a mask and glasses. Now the game really begins. I walked out of the office. My phone suddenly vibrated once. It was a message from A-Fei. I sneered, stood in the hospital corridor and answered it. The other side replied very quickly. 2 p.m. this afternoon. He will appear at the Shen Group's affiliated private club. I looked at the message. I got an idea. Since Sunyan wants to play, I'll play a huge game with her. Help me check where Shen Yanji is now, and also, I need a batch of goods, same old rules. Are you crazy? The Shen family's already got you completely under surveillance. That Sunyan is no ordinary woman. She's backed by the entire security system of Shen Group. Half of their staff used to be retired mercenaries from our organization. Perfect then. Let's help our old colleagues brush up on their skills. Back at the rental apartment, Suning hasn't come home yet. The place still felt warm and cozy. The underwear she washed for me was hanging on the balcony. On the table was the plain congee she cooked this morning that she didn't have time to throw away. If it weren't for that file, I would really think that I'm the happiest man in the world. I originally planned to throw all these things into the sea on our wedding day. Looking at it now, I need to bring them to this grand feast. 2 p.m. Shen Group's private club. This is Jiangcheng's top gathering spot for celebrities and elites. The security at the entrance is extremely strict. Everyone has to go through biometric verification, but not me. I put on a well-tailored suit, wore a pair of plain glasses, and held a forged project proposal in my hand. Using the ongoing expansion of Shen Group building as an excuse, I pretended to be a project supervisor and snuck in through the staff entrance. The 3rd floor of the club is Shen Yanji's exclusive lounge area. I watched Sunyan intimately hold Shen Yanji's arm as they walked past. Shen Yanji looked really weak. He had to stop to catch his breath after just a few steps. Sunyan looked full of distress. She carefully wiped the sweat off his forehead. That scene looked just like a loving married couple. Don't worry, Yanji. The heart donor has already been found. Dr. Chen said that person will go for a physical exam today. As long as all the indicators are normal, we can do the surgery next week. Niani and that man named Lin Feng. Isn't he your fiancé? You've been with him for 2 years.
Can you really bear to kill him?
What she said next even made me a murderer, and a devil feel a chill down my spine. Yanji, he's just a tool, nothing more than a container with a heart that matches yours. Being nice to him is just to take good care of that heart. I made him work as a hitman to earn bride price money, to test his heart's endurance under high pressure. Now the test is done. He's useless. She said it so casually, like she was talking about how to throw out a bag of trash. I hid in the shadows, my fingers tightly gripping the dagger at my waist. Turns out all the sweetness these past 2 years, every single second was a carefully calculated experiment. I thought I was building a home with the love of my life, but I was actually a pig being fattened up in a slaughterhouse. If that's the case, go ahead with your plan. Don't leave any traces. I don't want the Shen family's reputation to be stained by someone like him. I didn't rush to make a move. Killing them right away would be too easy on them. I want them to experience what it feels like to fall from heaven to hell. What real despair feels like. Sunyan obviously didn't expect that the top hitman she hired would find out her secret. How much do you want? Plus, I want to see how Mrs. Shen's hands cut open her fiancé's chest. What's wrong, Nianian? No, nothing. That hitman said there was a little accident. He's raising the price, but the flash of malice in her eyes didn't escape my notice. Fine. Abandoned chemical plant on the outskirts of the city. I'll bring it. Deal. The sun was shining bright outside, but I found it too dazzling. She even already booked a wedding planning company. The wedding's next month. How dedicated. To get my heart smoothly, she kept up the act right up to the last minute. Honey, I'm home. I'll make your favorite sweet and sour ribs tonight. I sat on the couch, watching her bustling around. I felt nothing at all in my heart. Honey, why didn't you go for the physical exam? Dr. Chen called me and said he waited for you all afternoon. You delayed it. I had some work stuff to deal with. Got delayed. It's okay, going tomorrow is the same. Oh right, I closed a big deal this afternoon. The company boss lent me a villa on the outskirts of the city. As a reward. Let's go there to watch the stars tonight, okay? Those eyes that I used to drown in now look like a pair of glass beads, with no warmth at all. Sure. I happen to have a surprise for you too. Really, what's the surprise? You'll see when we get there. I helped him set the sweet and sour ribs on the table. I ate really well at that dinner. I knew that this was the last breakup meal for this absurd relationship I was ever gonna have. Honey, eat more, okay? You've lost weight these days. Your heartbeat isn't as strong as it used to be. Nianian, you've heard my heartbeat before, right? Of course. Every night I rest my head on your chest. I can hear it super clearly. It's the most beautiful sound in the whole world. If he knew, this heart was planning how to ruin his plans. I wonder if he'd still think it sounds nice. 9:30 p.m. Sunyan drove me towards the outskirts of the city. That's the famous uninhabited zone in Jiangcheng. Are we there yet? I pretended to ask anxiously. Almost there. It's just up ahead, the view there is amazing. And no one will bother us. Sunyan gripped the steering wheel, staring straight ahead fixedly. The car stopped at the gate of an abandoned chemical plant. It was pitch black all around. Only the sharp whistling of wind blowing over the tin roof could be heard. Get out. I pushed the door open and just steadied myself, when several bright lights suddenly turned on around us. 7 or 8 big men walked out of the shadows, each holding a shiny weapon in their hand. Lin Feng, stop acting. You think I don't know about your little tricks? You asked Liu Yan to investigate me. You followed me to the hospital. You even tried to turn the tables and blackmail me for 1 million USD. Do you really think you're still the king of killers? 2 years of comfortable life have turned you into a delusional idiot who only daydreams. So this is the surprise you prepared. That's right. Dr. Chen, there's no operating room here. But handling a living person should be no problem, right? Don't worry, Mrs. Shen. Even in a ruin with my skills, I can take that heart out completely intact. Hahaha. Sunyan, have you actually ever learned about my past? What do you mean? In the hitman circle, I have a nickname. They call me Shadow Demon. It means wherever there's a shadow. That's my home turf. Sniper, you brought reinforcements. They're not reinforcements. That's the defense line I set up 2 years ago. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. In front of the chemical plant, only the collapsed. Dr. Chen and pale-faced Sunyan were left. Now it's my turn to ask you. How do you want him to die? Lin Feng, honey, I'm sorry. The Shen family forced me to do it. Shen Yanji threatened me with my whole family's lives. That's why I had to do it. Still acting? In the files Liu Yuan gave me? Besides your marriage certificate? There's also a secret agreement between you and Shen Yanji. As soon as Shen Yanji dies, you can inherit 40% of the shares under his name. But if he doesn't get a heart transplant, he can only live for half a year at most. So you're not trying to save him. You're trying to make him live long enough for the share transfer agreement to take effect. Sun Yen, you're the real killer. You've killed way more people than I have. Just then, my phone vibrated once on the ground. I picked up the phone and pressed the answer button. On the screen, Shen Yanji was lying in a luxury hospital room. His oxygen mask was completely fogged up. Lin Feng, let Nianian go. You want money? I'll give it to you. Any amount is fine. I looked at the dying man on the screen. Mr. Shen, I don't lack money, but I just thought of a more fun game. You want to live, right? Sun Yan also wants you to live, but right now, there's only one chance. I handed the dagger to Sun Yan. Wait, no, Mrs. Shen, kill him. As long as you personally sign a statement giving up all Shen family assets in front of the camera and watch him take his last breath. I'll let you go. Otherwise, I'll bury both of you here. Sun Yan was stunned. Shen Yanji was also stunned. At this moment, the air in the chemical plant seemed to freeze. Shen Yanji on the other end of the screen was panting heavily. Sun Yan on this end of the screen, her face, looked unpredictable under the strong light. Her expression changed several times in a single second. Fear, struggle, then finally slowly turned into a kind of coldness I had never seen before. Yan, what are you doing? Lin Feng, if I do what you say, will you really let me go? You don't get to bargain with me. Either he dies and you live, or both of you die. Don't blame me, Shen Yanji. That broken body of yours only has a few days left anyway. Instead of letting you take the Shen family's fortune to the grave, you might as well do me one last favor. Didn't you say you love me more than anything? Then give me your life. I let out a cold sneer. So this is what they call true love among wealthy families. It's not even worth a thin piece of paper when facing death. Just as Sun Yan was about to sign on the screen, the electronic agreement I had prepared long ago, something went wrong all of a sudden. Bang! Another clear gunshot rang out, but this time the bullet wasn't aimed at that group of bodyguards. It accurately shattered the phone in my hand. The phone blew apart instantly. Electric sparks flashed by. Sun Yan screamed and fell to the ground. I reacted extremely fast. I rolled over and hid behind an abandoned machine tool. Shadow Fiend, it's been 2 years. Your alertness has gone downhill. A deep, low voice came from the factory. Second floor, out of the shadows. My heart sank. These can't be the Shen family's bodyguards. That professional tactical movement. That familiar cold tone of voice. These are people from the organization. Lin Feng, how much effort did the organization put into training you? You think quitting the business is like going grocery shopping? You can just leave whenever you want. I gripped the dagger in my hand tightly. My palm was full of sweat. I finally understood everything. The Shen family did want my heart. But Sun Yan isn't just Shen Yanzi's wife. She is an observer sent by the organization. That hero saving the Beauty Act 2 years ago was arranged by the organization. Sun Yan's companionship over these 2 years wasn't just to take care of my heart, but also to monitor me 24/7. The organization needed a perfect donor for top clients like the Shen family, and I was the unlucky guy they picked. Sun Yan, your mission failed. I'm sorry, instructor. The target is harder to control than expected. We've all been living under a giant glass dome. The retirement life I thought I had was actually a 2-year-long live surveillance show. Lin Feng, don't struggle anymore. Mr. Shen's surgery is scheduled for 8 a.m. tomorrow. To ensure the heart stays active, we have to take you back alive. Hurry up, catch him. He almost killed Mrs. Shen just now. I stared at this group of people. The rage that had been suppressed in my chest for 2 years finally exploded completely. You want my life? Let's see if you have what it takes to take it. I slammed the button on a remote control in my pocket. Boom! A violent explosion went off outside the chemical plant, taking advantage of the chaos. I grabbed Dr. Chen on the ground as a human shield. I dashed like an arrow, straight toward the side exit. Open fire. Bullets swept over like raindrops. Dr. Chen got shot full of holes instantly. He didn't even understand before he died. He was just a tiny speck of dust in this big game. I used Dr. Chen's body as cover, and rushed into a drainage pipe. After escaping the chemical plant, I didn't go back to the city. I knew all the surveillance systems in the city were probably already targeting me. The Shen family teamed up with the organization. In this city, I'm just a rat stuck in a dead end. I knew this job wasn't going to be easy. The Shen family teamed up with your old employer. Now both cops and criminals are looking for you. Who the hell is Sun Yan anyway? Sun Yan's real name is Su Qing? A social assassin trained by the organization. She is best at psychological manipulation. Not only did she marry Shen Yanzi, she is also secretly in contact with the Shen family's competitors. This woman is no joke. She wants to take all the benefits. These past 2 years, what the hell have I been living with? Lin Feng, you are in extreme danger right now. Your heart is worth 500 million right now. Shen Yanji is hanging on by a thread. He is willing to pay any price for your life. Since they want it that bad, I'll deliver it to them myself. Are you crazy? Shen's hospital is a fortress right now. That's my heart. Only I have the right to decide when it stops beating Lu Yuan. Help me find the 40% Shen family equity transfer agreement. Since Sun Yan wants money so bad, I'll let her watch how that money burns to ash. Yanji, listen to me explain. Back at the chemical plant just now, I said that just to keep Lin Feng calm. Nianian, give me that agreement, I'll sign it. As long as I finish the surgery, everything the Shen family owns will be yours. Just as Shen Yanji shakily picked up the pen, the lights in the room suddenly went out. Who's there? Sun Yan screamed. A deep voice sounded in the darkness, as cold as the Grim Reaper. Sun Yan, did you forget that once a hitman takes a job, they can't rest until it's finished? Sun Yan tried madly to turn on the light, only to have a hard object pressed against the back of her head. Don't move, one more move, and your brains will splatter all over. The silk quilt Mr. Shen loves most. I pulled open the curtain, and moonlight poured in. Shen Yanzi looked at me in horror. Lin Feng, how did you get in here? Your Shen family security is really professional, but they guard against humans, not ghosts. Lin Feng, what do you want? I can give you money, loads of money. I don't want money. I want to tear off the last veil of this scam. Sun Yan, tell Shen Yanji the truth. Do you really expect him to survive the surgery? Mr. Shen, you probably don't know. Your attending physician Dr. Chen is already dead, and the person who replaced him is an old friend I invited. Mr. Shen, let me reintroduce myself. I don't know squat about treating patients.
But I know chemistry inside out.
Those imported meds Sun Yan gave you aren't life-saving drugs at all. They're slow-acting neurotoxins. Even if you get a new heart tomorrow, you won't live more than 3 days, because all the assets under your name need to go through a 3-day lockup period before they can be fully transferred to Sun Yan's account. You vicious, cruel woman. Haha, so what if I am Shen Yanji, a bedridden loser like you? Shouldn't have hogged everything belonging to the Shen family. You've been clinging to the Shen family's resources and refusing to let go. Why the hell should I waste my life stuck with you? I waited for you for 3 years. I've had enough of this crap. Don't get cocky, Lin Feng. You think you've won. The guys I called already have this place surrounded. None of us are getting out of here safe today.
You think I'm scared?
As soon as I finished speaking, a shrill alarm went off outside the Shen family villa. The roar of a helicopter circled overhead. Powerful searchlights lit the room as bright as day. You can't escape, Lin Feng. I looked at Sun Yan, then glanced at Shen Yanji lying on the bed like a dead dog, and suddenly burst out laughing loudly. Escape? Why would I escape? I pulled a black backpack from behind my back, and opened it right in front of Sun Yan. It was full of high explosives. Sun Yan, didn't you say you'd cook for me for life? Then let's play a big game tonight. I pressed the timer, and the red number started counting down fast. 60, 59, 58. Sun Yan collapsed to the ground, completely hopeless. You maniac. You never planned on getting out alive, did you? The second I realized my heart was being coveted by the whole world, I was already dead. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the flames outside the window. Now I'm just here to take you to my funeral. Right when the timer hit 30 seconds, I saw a wild dog leading his men charging to the door. I faced the security camera and gave the brightest smile I've had in 2 years. 1 second before the explosion, I yanked Sun Yan up hard and jumped straight off the 3rd floor terrace. Below us was the Shen family's private swimming pool. Boom! Violent flames instantly devoured the entire top floor. The shockwave shattered half the villa's windows. I held onto Sun Yan's collar tightly and dragged her as deep as I could into the pool. Countless pieces of broken rubble fell from above. Burning wooden beams plummeted into the water like meteors, making a sharp hissing sound. Lack of oxygen made me start hallucinating. I vaguely saw through the flames, Shen Yanji's twisted face slowly melting away. I held my breath with the last of my strength, and dragged the unconscious Sun Yan from the pool's bottom circulation drain and snuck out. That was a secret passage I had built by bribing renovation workers 2 weeks in advance. It leads straight to the moat outside the manor. When I popped my head out of the stinky river water, the villa in the distance was already in ruins. I wiped the blood and water off my face, and glanced at Sun Yan lying on the bank like a dead fish. She was still alive, just choked on water. I didn't have time to feel pity for her. I knew Wild Dog's men would search here soon. I slung Sun Yan over my back, and disappeared into the dark wilderness. 2 hours later, In a rundown basement in the old town of Jiangcheng, this was the last safe house I kept for myself, 2 years ago. Sunian coughed violently, and spit out a mouthful of dirty water, and slowly opened her eyes. Linfeng, you're still alive? Sorry to disappoint you. I didn't look up. I kept sharpening the knife mechanically over and over. Shen Yanji is dead. He was burned to charcoal in the fire. Sunian, that equity agreement you spent 3 years planning. There's not even a trace of ash left of it now. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Good that it's gone. Good that it's gone. That useless loser should have disappeared from our sight long ago. Linfeng, since he's already gone, and we both escaped safely, let's take the 500,000 wen in your bank card, buy a new identity, and leave. Let's go abroad to a place no one knows us. I'll still be your good wife. I'll have kids for you, I mean it. Sunian, do you really think I, Linfeng, have been wasting my time these past 2 years? You're still putting on an act right now. I pulled an encrypted memory card out of my pocket that I swiped from Dr. Chen's office and plugged it into the beat-up old laptop next to me. This is Dr. Chen's secret archive. Besides Shen Yanji's medical records, there's also an observation report on Shadow Fiend inside. I clicked on one of the files. The text on the screen made Sunian's smile freeze instantly. What does memory falsification mean? Speak? Linfeng, do you really think you're a killer? Do you really think you quit the killing business for me? 2 years ago, you really were a killer. But you got caught by the organization when you were on a mission. They didn't kill you. They turned you into a test subject instead. They removed part of your memory and implanted that fake backstory of you quitting the business and going back to a normal, ordinary life. The so-called hero saving the beauty, the so-called 2 years of being together, was all part of the experiment setting. Impossible. I remember us going grocery shopping together, burning the bottom of the pot when we cooked for the first time. I remember every detail of us saving up for our wedding rings. That's because there's a chip in your brain. It's helping you build a complete self-perception. You thought you were saving me, but you were actually helping it finish the final test. Shen Yanzi wanted your heart, not just because your blood types match, but also because that heart has integrated the biological base station the organization spent hundreds of millions developing. I collapsed into the chair. If my memories are fake, what's the point of everything I held onto these 2 years? The person I protected was my own monitor. The memories I cherished were just cold lines of code. So Shen Yanji was also part of the experiment. No, he was the only variable. The Shen family is a sponsor of the organization. Shen Yanzi was dying. The Shen family demanded the organization hand over the experiment results to him. To extend his life, the organization agreed. But I didn't want that. What I want is all of the Shen family's assets, as long as Shen Yanji signs the agreement and gets your heart transplanted. I can control the chip in his brain and indirectly control the entire Shen group. Linfeng, I did this for us. As long as we work together, the whole Jiangcheng will be ours. It was the sound of heavy combat boots stepping on dry leaves. They're here. That old bastard wild dog found us faster than I thought. Linfeng, hand over Sunian. I'll let you die with a whole body. You'll let me go. No, I want you to go tell your instructor yourself. The experiment is over? Don't shoot, I'm Su Qing. I climbed out the back window under cover of the smoke. But the moment I was leaving, I looked back. I saw Wild Dog raise his gun expressionlessly and fired 3 shots straight into Sunian's chest. A monitor who fails a mission has no right to exist. Sunian fell into a pool of blood. Her eyes were wide open even when she died, staring at the sky she once thought she could control. I didn't stop. I dashed fast through the darkness. My heart was pounding hard in my chest. I'm not doing this for some fiancé anymore. Not for quitting the killing business either. I need to find out who I really am. This is the real core of the organization. I put on a diving suit. I went upstream through the city's sewers and went straight to the 3rd basement floor of the Research Institute. The place was full of sci-fi style blue lights. Transparent culture tanks were filled with all kinds of weird organs. I avoided the patrolling security guards and snuck into an office. On the wall of the office hung a huge group photo. In the middle of the photo was a silver-haired old man, and the person standing next to the old man was actually myself. No, that's not me. Even though that face looks exactly like mine, but the coldness in his eyes is even worse than the shadow demon at his peak. The photo is dated May 12th, 2023. That was 3 years ago. But my memory tells me 3 years ago, I was on an assassination mission in Southeast Asia. I flipped open the top secret file on the table with trembling hands. The first page made me completely break down. It was a cloning plan document. Project name. Shadow Project. Project details. Turns out I'm not some captured killer at all. I'm just a clone. All those memories in my head, those glorious pasts as a killer, were all extracted from the real shadow demon's mind, and then copied into mine. That's why Shen Yanji's blood type is a perfect match for mine. Because he's also a defective failed clone. He was created by the Shen family to extend their bloodline, using cloning technology as their son. But he has a congenital genetic defect. That's why he needs my perfect heart to stay alive. The so-called fiancé, the so-called coming back to the game, was all a huge biological experiment scam. You figured it out yet? My number 2. You're smarter than number 1, and way more resilient than him too. Worthy of being the evolved version after chip integration. I clenched my fists. My knuckles cracked loudly. Where is the real shadow demon? The old man smiled, and pointed deeper underground. He's been asleep there for 3 years. He provided us with the perfect gene template, and you, Linfeng, you're about to fulfill your final mission. The old man pressed a button. The office walls slowly slid open to both sides, revealing a huge laboratory. In the center of the lab, there was a giant cryo chamber. A man was lying inside the chamber. He was bare-chested, with a long scar across his chest. That's the real shadow demon. Next to the cryo chamber, Shen Yanji was actually sitting in a wheelchair. He didn't die. The one burned in the fire was just a Fall Guy bodyguard we pushed out. Lin Feng, thanks to that strike of yours, the whole world thinks I'm dead. Now I can safely get your heart transplanted, take back control of the Shen family, and take over the whole world. Old man, let's do this. I've been waiting for this heart for way too long. Lin Feng, you either come up here on your own, or let Wild Dog drag you here. I suddenly thought of Sun Yan's eyes before she died, and a line Lu Yuan once told me. If you find out the whole world is fake, the only thing that proves you're alive is your anger? Ha ha ha. Fine, I'll cooperate. But before the surgery starts, I want to show you all something. Mr. Shen, you think you'll live after getting my heart. Do you know who the owner of this lab is? It's this silver-haired old man right in front of you, who's actually the biggest creditor of Shen Group. Lin Feng, you're about to die and you're still trying to sow discord. Whether it's discord or not, you'll know after you look at this. I pressed the switch on the storage device. Immediately, the big screen in the lab popped up a series of secret agreements, signed by the old man and internal members of the Shen family. Shen Yanji's face went pale instantly. You set me up? Idiot. Young Master Shen, why can't you just be a good puppet? You had to be a smartass. Since number 2 has seen through our plan, we don't need to act anymore. Wild Dog, take number 2's. Heart out and force the transplant. Prepare the consciousness overlay system. That was Dr. Chen's scalpel. My 2 years of ordinary life were indeed implanted memories, but my killer instincts are engraved in my genes. The scalpel stabbed Wild Dog's wrist precisely. His gun fell and I caught it smoothly. I aimed at the high voltage electrolyte tank on the ceiling and fired 3 shots. A huge blue light instantly filled the entire lab. The second the high voltage electrolyte tank exploded, the whole lab turned into a deadly electrified zone. I ignored my numb arm from the blast and rolled to the ground. Wild Dog and the old man screamed in the chaos. During those 2 years of ordinary life, even though I washed dishes and knitted sweaters, I got up early every day to run and lift weights. That wasn't to keep fit. It was the extreme thirst for survival in my genes. Wild Dog didn't even make a sound, and collapsed like a puppet with cut strings. This man who taught me all my killing skills ended up dying by the silent killing technique he was most proud of. I picked up his automatic rifle and aimed the muzzle at the silver-haired old man. Don't shoot! Lin Feng, or rather number 2, calm down. You're our most perfect creation. If you kill me, no one can maintain the chip in your brain. You'll end up brain dead. Chip. You think I still care about that? The second I found out even my memories were stolen, I stopped caring whether I live or die. Where do you think you're going, young Master Shen? Just kill me. Please, I'm begging you, kill me. Killing you would be too easy on you. I'm gonna make you watch. This heart you've been so desperate to get will destroy your entire empire with my own hands. Right at that moment, a heavy, muffled thud came from deep inside the lab. The pod that had been kept frozen all this time, holding the original Shadow Fiend, slowly creaked open on its own. Due to the earlier circuit overload, the cryo system completely failed. The forced wake-up protocol was activated. The original is awake. 1749. That's his serial number. Or rather, his code name in the organization. 1749, kill him. Kill that number 2. I am your master. Follow my orders. Suddenly he moved. Ugh. Squelch, the mastermind behind the Shen Group, turned into a pile of mush right then and there. His gaze locked firmly on the clone that looked exactly like himself. I gripped my rifle tight. I knew the real life or death fight was just starting. Clone versus original. You are also me. No, I'm Lin Feng. The idiot who saved up to buy a ring for his fiancée, the regular guy who ate plain congee in his rental apartment. Lin Feng, that sounds so nice. All I ever do is kill. Before he even finished speaking, he vanished again. I didn't hesitate for a second. I opened fire straight ahead, full auto. Rat-tat-tat-tat! The original darted between the messy lab equipment. He doesn't need weapons. His hands and feet are the deadliest weapons there are. A sharp pain shot through my shoulder. Half my body went numb instantly. He chopped my shoulder blade to pieces with a single hand strike. I fell to the ground on purpose, pulled the dagger from my waist, and swiped at his ankle. This was a raw, bloody hand-to-hand fight. We have the exact same genes, same physical build, same fighting skills. Every move I make, he can predict it. Every punch he throws, I can block it too. You can't beat me. Your memories, your body, they're all weakened versions. You're nothing but a disposable tool. I could feel my oxygen running out fast. My vision started to blur. At that moment, the first thing that popped into my head wasn't some killing technique. It was Sun Yan's back as she bustled around the kitchen, even though it was fake, even though it was all an act. But that warm feeling was real. It existed. Even disposable tools have things they want to protect, right? It was the wedding ring Sun Yan gave me earlier. No, actually, when Lu Yuan helped me modify it, he snuck a high-frequency electromagnetic jammer inside. Zup! An invisible wave instantly swept across the entire lab. A sharp pain exploded in my head. The chip inside me was breaking down. The original let out a pained roar too. He grabbed his head, his body shaking violently. The chip inside him was more advanced than mine, so the interference hit him even harder. Now's my chance. I grabbed the scalpel that had fallen nearby, mustered all my strength, and stabbed it hard into the original's heart. The original froze. He looked down at the handle sticking out of his chest, then looked up at me. The dead look in his eyes slowly faded away, replaced by a look of relief. Thank you. He collapsed heavily onto me. The myth that ruled the assassin world for 10 years died at the hands of his own shadow in the end. I pushed his body off me, gasping for air. Inside the lab, the red lights were dimming more and more. Shen Yanzi had already passed out. From the agony of his broken leg and pure fear, I stumbled over to the cryopod and found a hidden compartment there. I used the original's finger to scan the fingerprint lock. The compartment popped open. There was only one vial inside. This is the ultimate prize the Shen family and that old man are fighting over. With this in hand, the flaws in clones can be fixed. Shen Yanzi can actually achieve immortality. Countless people lost their families and lives over this thing. So many people have been plotting for it for 3 years. This world has no right to blame me. I turned and walked toward the exit. When I passed by Shen Yanji, I hauled him up with one hand. I'm taking him out with me, not to save him, but to make him face the court and answer for all the blood on his hands. I'll make the entire Shen group, expose all its scandals to the public. I walked out of the lab and left the underground research facility. It was already dawn outside, but I didn't walk more than a few steps before I collapsed from weakness. Lin Feng. A familiar voice rang in my ears. I struggled to open my eyes. It was Lu Yuan. He was rushing over with a team of people. I knew you brat wouldn't die that easily. Lu Yuan helped me up. Seeing my body covered in wounds, his eyes turned red. Did you get the stuff? It's destroyed. Good that it's destroyed. Good that it's destroyed. Let's go home. Home? Lu Yuan. Even my name is fake. Where would I have a home? The memories in your head were implanted, yes. But the neighbors you saved these past 2 years, the old grannies you helped, the kindness you showed to this world, all of it is real. Since no one gave you a proper name, starting from today, you are the real Lin Feng. Right at that moment, my phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a scheduled text sent automatically. The sender was Sun Yan. I opened it with trembling hands. Lin Feng, when you see this text, everything is probably already over. Actually, before the day you saved me, I had already been watching you through surveillance for 3 months. The organization told me to pick someone up at the airport, but I volunteered for that mission. The kanji I made you those 2 years tasted really bad, but I really wanted to keep drinking it forever. I'm sorry. In this world full of lies, clones, and betrayal, that tiny bit of sincerity was actually hidden in the deepest part of hell. Intensive Care Unit, #1 Hospital of Zhengcheng City. I woke up 3 days later. Lin Feng, you're really tough. The doctor said your nerve plexus was completely destroyed. Toxins from the burned chip almost left you paralyzed. But you actually pulled through. I opened my mouth. My voice was unbelievably hoarse. How's the Shen family? Lu Yuan let out a cold laugh and handed me the tablet. The screen was full of overwhelming headlines. Shen Yanji isn't dead yet, but he'll never get out for the rest of his life. He went crazy in court, kept saying he's the one true god. So he got sent to the deepest intensive care unit of the psychiatric hospital. As for that secret research institute, it's been completely eradicated. Where's Sun Yan? The police found her body in the chemical plant ruins. As per your request, I had her buried in a cemetery where you can see the sea. Also, the stuff you told me to look for in the rental apartment. I brought it back. That was the day I met Sun Yan. I entered the password with trembling hands. I inserted the memory card into the tablet. What popped up on the screen wasn't files. It was a video. The background of the video was our tiny cramped rental apartment. Sun Yan was wearing that floral apron I love the most, recording a video facing the camera. I know you've always suspected me. You're right, I'm a surveillance agent. But I hid one thing from the organization, and from everyone else. 2 years ago when I read your gene sequence, I found out you're not a defective product at all. You're the awakened one that old man fears the most. After the chip was implanted in your brain, it produced a special antibody. This antibody is slowly devouring those fake memories and rebuilding your personality with your own experiences. That means you're becoming a real human being. I stared at the screen tightly. My heart was pounding wildly. I stole the stabilizer the organization was originally going to give to Shen Yanji. It's hidden inside that ring. It's not a diamond ring. It's a biodegradable pump. It holds the only substance that can completely eliminate the remaining chip fragments in your body. The medicine that can repair your damaged nerves. Lin Feng, this is the only thing I can do for you. Don't go back to Zhangcheng. Go to the beach we agreed to visit together. There are no clones there. No killers, only the wind, Lin Feng. Watch the sunset there for me, okay? The video went black. I picked up that ring, pressed it gently. A thin needle popped out from the bottom. I didn't hesitate at all, and stabbed it into my palm. A cool liquid flowed along my blood and spread all over my body in a second. At that moment, those sharp mocking laughs in my head, and those messy double images faded away like a tide. My mind has never been this clear before. It feels like this body finally truly belongs to me. The day I got discharged from the hospital, Lugan gave me a ride. When we passed the ruins of Shen's building, I saw a man standing on the sidewalk, in a black trench coat. That man was wearing sunglasses. Looking up at the remains of the building, I slammed on the brakes, pushed the door open and rushed out. Who are you? The man turned around slowly, and took off his sunglasses. He had the exact same face as me, but he wasn't Shen Yanji, nor was he the original shadow fiend I stabbed through the heart. There was a look in his eyes that I had never seen before, deep and weathered. There was a tiny dark red mark, with the number 3 at the base of his right ear. That was Subject 3, who was marked as pending in the files. You're actually still alive. Looks like Sun Yan made the right choice. Whose side are you on, anyway? I don't belong to anyone. After the old man died, the organization descended into infighting. I took some documents while the chaos was happening, and erased all your biological backups along the way. From now on, there's no more clone Lin Feng in this world. You're just Lin Feng. He handed me a brand new passport and a bank card. Sun Yan asked me to get these ready for you in advance. She said the 500,000 US dollars she owed you is now fully paid off. Did she leave any other message for me? She said the thing she regretted most was not actually having twins with you. But the thing she never regretted was letting you save her on purpose that day on the street. After saying that, number 3 put his sunglasses back on, turned around and disappeared into the bustling crowd. I stood under the scorching sun in Jiangcheng. All around me was heavy traffic and a lively, bustling world. No one knows, deep under the ground of this city, what kind of evils once took place here. And no one knows that the man who haggles at the wet market was once the shadow of this world. I went back to that rental apartment. I tucked Sun Yan's photo and the ring inside my jacket. Before I left, I saw Aunt Wang, my neighbor, collecting clothes on her balcony. Hey Xiaolin, you're back from your business trip. Where's your wife? I haven't seen her buy groceries for days. She went back to her hometown. I'm just going to pick her up now. Great, bring her back soon. I'm still waiting to attend your wedding banquet. I nodded, slung my backpack over my shoulder, and walked down the stairs. Half a year later, in a small coastal town in the south, I opened a small noodle shop near the sea. I wake up at a regular time every day, knead dough and cook soup. The sunset here is so beautiful. Golden light spills over the surface of the sea. Like pieces of broken dreams, I sat on the beach, holding that platinum diamond ring in my hand. The ring glinted brightly in the sun. I gently placed it on the beach. On a small sand mound, Nian Nian. I've seen the sunset, it's really beautiful. But I still think you look better when you're cooking. The sea breeze blew past, and carried away my whisper. My phone vibrated once. It was a message from Lu Yuan. I turned off my phone, and threw it into the sea. The waves rolled in, and took away the last link between me and that dark world. I stood up and brushed the sand off my pants. A customer in the noodle shop was shouting, "Boss, another bowl of noodles, add an egg." Coming right up.